So this is part 3, I believe. So we left off when I got bumped out of the live stream. We left off at getting present together. So I'm going to do it in here today so that I'm set up for the next part. But basically, to get present, number one thing I always recommend is just kind of pretend you're a child, like a non-mobile child, like pre-toddler, and you're just sitting. You literally can't do anything. Maybe you can't even roll over yet. So you're just sitting there, and you just look around your room, and you take in the color, and the lights, and the sounds. Maybe they're not sounds you love. Like right now I can hear my computer. It's just kind of annoying. But if you're 1 year old, you don't have control over that. You have no agency. You're just sitting there. It's kind of annoying, or maybe you learn to find it soothing. I mean, I don't think 1-year-olds have to do that kind of inner mental work to try to find it soothing. You just find it soothing because it's the sound that's always there when nothing bad is happening. So maybe for the 1-year-old version of the current you, it's actually peaceful. It's fine. And you're just taking color, shapes. Like I see these pillows on here have a little crosshatch pattern on them. That just made my mind go to an organization I know called Crosshatch, whom I love, but then you just pull it back. And a really good person for talking about how to meditate or how to get present, one of them is Pema Chodron, and she does a really good job of not shaming you for if your mind wanders off to Crosshatch or whatever random, organization or activity or something while you're trying to get focused and be in the present. Of course, you can focus on your breathing. But if your mind does wander off, she says, unlike some people who just say, label it thinking and come back to your breath, for me, that's a little harsh. Because then over time, my mind just keeps going, thinking, thinking, thinking. And I know you're not supposed to feel that as a judgment, but if you are someone who doesn't, it's very hard to have control over whether or not you feel that as a judgment just because a book tells you not to. Like if you feel that as a judgment, you feel that as a judgment. And so over time, that can actually create a weird shame loop if while you're trying to meditate, you keep thinking, 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 and you feel like bad about yourself that you can't do a better job. In the books, they'll say, don't feel bad about yourself. But if you do feel bad about yourself, then you just do feel bad about yourself. You don't necessarily have control over that. So, what I remember Pema said something along the lines of like being a detective when you're meditating. And she's saying something along the lines of like, if your mind wanders off, just kind of, I think her words were like, be curious about it. Like, oh, that's interesting. And then just kind of let it come back when you can. Or, oh, cool, wow, it wandered off. Maybe that's an interesting thought. Maybe you'll let your mind kind of wander with it, but then as soon as you can, bring it back to just taking that deep breath and paying attention to it. But like I've said, for me, in this segment being the present, I think I never showed you the present. It's like, I feel like this one should just be really stark and simple. All right. For me, it just, the 1-year-old thing has worked the best so far. Like, I'm already using it even while I'm talking to you. I'm just trying to pay attention to the colors in the room. My room is very cluttered. This particular room is more cluttered than the living room. It's full of stuff, but it's very colorful stuff. And it has this buzzing noise, like I said, my old computer. Don't want to say it's old. Hang in there, buddy. That thing's been through like 3 challenge years with me. All this stuff, like, it's very distracting. All of that stuff puts me in my head, puts me in time, like in the linear nature of time. It makes me very aware of, frenetic qualities. But all I have to do to calm that down, if I want to, is, and I don't always consciously do this, but pretending or imagining I'm 1 year old, it's like, I don't even do it like as a story anymore, but I did it so long as that kind of story. Like I can't move. I'm 1 year old. I'm just looking around the room. There's nothing to do. There's nothing I can do. And you just start, I don't know, colors started looking different to me. Light started looking different to me. Present moments started feeling different to me. Like, here, I could really try harder to do it right now rather than talk to you. We can do it together. Every time I get really present, I often end up taking a really deep breath, and it comes very organically. I'll give you an example of what happened while I suddenly got very present. It's a funny one. So, when I'm not present, and I don't really have an issue with dust, but if I'm not present, I might notice the dustiness inside of this little speaker area and think of it as something that needs to be cleaned. Or if you're like me and you're a sloppier person, you might purposely block that out and like try not to see it and act like it doesn't bother you. All of these things are options. I mean, this is such a tiny, random sort of OCD type of thing. But while I was getting present, suddenly that dust didn't look like a task to do. Yeah, and that's where the deep breath came from. It just looked like a thing that was there. You know, because if you're 1 year old, you don't have chores. But also, it's just a thing that is there. You know, mess, disorganized things, all of that create this kind of constant underlay of anxiety. When you are in a meditative state, they don't generate the same thoughts. Like, then I was just suddenly like, I don't know, because I still have thoughts when I'm feeling meditative and present, but I just really saw it as that's what dust looks like. It didn't look like, that's ugly, or that's this. There were no value judgments. It just became just that thing is that thing. My deepest moment was strangely when I was staring at this W, and the black ink looked really black to me in contrast to the white paper, and it looked beautiful, like the contrast. And it just made me kind of go to a space of like, I don't know how to describe it, awe of like how much we take for granted. Like, that's why I surround myself with things like this, because like this to me is like super crazy beautiful. And if I get into a relaxed state and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, oh, like it just looks beautiful to me. And so I surround myself with things that put me in that place, I guess. Anyway, okay, that's the present. So I kind of changed this. So the next segment, it's so weird to do this live. Like, chop, edit. Now I need a second. Okay, so the next segment, I put together two segments. There was a segment earlier called Lyric Music Video, and then there was another segment called Original Songwriting. I put them together, and I put them right now, and I called it Creative Space, 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 Space. Okay, so Creative Space. This is a spot where I'm just going to show you some creative stuff I'm working on. I actually finished my little music video that I've been working on for forever. Just because yesterday, when I came in here and I pulled it up and it didn't play, I felt really bad. So I wanted to not have it inside of my Corel Video Studio. I wanted to have it already rendered and ready to play. So I'm not going to play you the whole thing. I'm just going to play a little bit of it and let you see like what I do when I make doodle videos. This is my first time doing it as a lyric music video. Normally I do these as like feelings and self-esteem videos. I don't know what's on my desktop. I don't know what you might be seeing. I have no idea how loud this will be or not loud enough, but here we go. Hopefully it works today. I should move the little arrow guy. It's playing. It says it's playing. Well, maybe it's going to be tomorrow again. I'll give it 10 seconds. 10, 9. I shouldn't have called you an old computer. Sorry, buddy. 8. It's loading. 7, 6, 5. It's not loading anymore. 4, 3. Come on. Oh, it's loading again. 2, 1.5. I guess it's tomorrow. Man, I had it all rendered and ready to go, but well, now you know my struggles with technology. So many things, they just don't work. And now it's saying it's not responding. Okay, well, bringing it back to what the other part of this segment is called, let's see, in the creative space segment, this is also where I was going to write a song. So I'm going to let that load for a minute. And I think today I've been writing all my songs in this segment on my little Casio. But I think today I want to write on a ukulele. I could even write on a gitalele. If you don't know what a gitalele is, I think that's what this is called. Oh, it's working. I don't know why it took that long. It's a little frightening, but maybe we'll do that first. And then I'll write a song once I've had a chance to center myself. Okay, let's get rid of that filter. No filter. All right, boom. Here we go. All right, so this is, really, it just crashed. I guess this is meant to be secret. You'll have to watch it when I do the premiere on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna write a song now. So, but you saw the cover. So this is like a 6-string. It's like ukulele. I don't know if I'm feeling that one. I don't think I tuned that one. Oh, I have my tuner right here. Boom, boom. I have a dead tuner right here. This one, I just found it in the tour van. We couldn't find the second tuner, and it was like clipped to the back seat belt. We don't even have the back seats up. So I don't think this is gonna work. Let's try it one more. Oh, it just needed to be off vibration. Okay. I know watching someone tune is an incredibly uninteresting thing, but I hate to have you listen to a song that's not in tune. Ugh, yeah, that's gonna take me too long. I barely ever play the gitalele, so I need to go to a very centered place to write a song. I appreciate if you are watching. I'm going to try to not think about you for a minute. I don't know how long I'll do these shows live stream because I feel like I'm a different person when I'm highly aware of other people watching me. Which would make you wonder then, why do I even have a YouTube channel? And I would say, good question. But I think being a songwriter my whole life, like I've been writing songs since I was 3 years old, and I'm going to get closer because these YouTube videos, when I've transferred these to YouTube, they've been very quiet. Sorry, I'm shutting this off because the buzzing noise is, you know, now I'm not a 1-year-old in meditation. I don't want to listen to that. But I've been like really reflecting on this lately, like pretty heavily. I have a lot of dreams that don't line up with who I am. Like who I am is very much a writer. Filter on because I'm starting to tear up. What filter will cover that up? The bunny. Nope. Balloons? Ooh, no. I mean, I could do this one again, but I just did that one. Well, it will definitely cover it up. At least for now. Yeah, I'll just leave it now. It's okay. So, I'll tell you more about that another day. Here in this place, here in this time, I'm afraid I'm not meant to fly. I didn't play the other instrument because of the tuning issue, and then I ended up playing a very, very out of tune ukulele. Sorry, that's after the fact. I don't even know why I'm tuning it now. Well, probably just generalized awkwardness. So yeah, that is something I do all the time. Just write songs. They're very soothing for me. They're probably more comforting than meditation for me. I wrote down, the show gets longer than I want it to every time. It's sort of because I ramble when I'm feeling uncomfortable, like I haven't found the point yet, and then I ramble also when I find the point. And I never know what spots are going to be the parts where I feel like I have something that's really on my heart to say that day. And so, yeah, I don't know. Who knows if this is a good idea for a show or if this is just too much. I don't know. I've been told I'm too much a lot in my life, either directly with words or implied, and I'm really triggered right now because of some things that happened yesterday. Not with people close to me, but more peripherally, and as I alluded to earlier. It's funny, for spiritual stuff I actually wrote down that the topic I should talk about was fear of being unliked, misunderstood, unpopular, and the discomfort that goes with that. And then for some reason I wrote like Grover or Jesus, etc. smiley face. So I don't even know what I'm talking about exactly. Like, I wrote that late last night because I was feeling some things from some stuff that happened yesterday. So I think being disliked, being misunderstood, being unpopular, or maybe like people you used to be popular with or liked by, once they get to know you better, you're not popular with or you're not liked by them anymore. And just all the discomfort that goes with that, you know? Like, if I am anything like Grover, or if any of us are anything like Grover, like, he's very cute as a Muppet, but as a person, that's actually annoying. Like, someone constantly going, don't turn the page, don't turn the page. And it's like, you know, or like the part of Jesus going back to his hometown and people being like, dude, you're crazy. Like, what do you want about? And like, I think everything that I've brought up today about fear and about discomfort has a spiritual component to it. I never know quite how to do the spiritual stuff segment. I kind of just hope it does itself. Please help. I just feel like all the stuff in the feelings segment was alluding to the idea that at the core, like this image of a seed, if feelings are like a seed and underneath one is another one and another one, and you get down to the tiniest core, at the core of it, there is like a dignity of spirit inside of all of us. And I think it's important to honor that. And if somebody is so different from us, or so triggering for us, or so traumatizing for us, triggering for us, traumatizing for us, yeah. Anyway, if someone is those things, like, maybe I also need to learn the thing that I want to receive, which is, if you really don't respect me, or you don't like my truth, or you don't find value in the way I live, like, I would rather live and let live, like, turn away. I have a song about that called Change. I don't remember all the lyrics right now, but one line is, turn away instead of asking me to change. Because I've been asked to change a lot in my life, and I don't see the value in that. If you convince somebody to change who they are to make you comfortable, you've now given them a lifetime of discomfort, because now they're going to be someone else to make you more comfortable. And that's been done to me, and I'm sure I've done it to others. So, the spiritual piece of everything that I've been talking about today, even if you don't believe in a big creator like I do, or if you don't believe in spiritual forces at all, I mean, A, then this segment's really not for you. But B, even without that, I do wonder if this is something that all of humanity would agree on. That at the core of every human being is a seed of, whether you call it spirit or you call it something else, there's something that, I don't know if deserves is the right word, but deserves dignity. That merits dignity, that warrants loving kindness. And if you can't be kind towards a person because of all the things enshrouding that seed, because of behaviors that are so triggering from and for, I don't know what this is right now, but if you can't be kind to that person, then I just don't see why, like, and I'm teaching myself right now, like, if you can't treat that person with dignity, then it would make more sense to live and let live and get away from them. And I think that maybe includes Facebook rants, you know, because we are really, in the last few years, really ranting about each other. And it's partly because of the leadership. And I could rant to you right now my issues about the leadership or lack thereof. But I don't want this. If my intent is to help with feelings, I don't necessarily want to stir the pot right now. So that's not my goal. And that just really ultimately comes down to my traumas. So that's a topic for another day. So yeah. Okay. So now we've got one more little segment here. The next segment is called Your Body and Mind.